Hello children, today we'll discuss about fifth lesson Penugolu. It's a village name. Penugolu, it's a village name. So this village at the on the hills. Okay, Penugolu, a village on the hills. So before this fifth lesson, we read about third and fourth lessons, which is there one of Penamakuru. It's there in the and Penamakuru play in the plains and the Dokuru in the plateau regions, right? So this Penugolu village is there on the hills. So we are going to know in this lesson about Penugolu village. So on the hills, how the people were lived, okay? So what is there on the Penugolu village? So physical features of the Penugolu village and how the people were living over there, their lifestyle and all, okay? And so how they are earning their livelihood and all. So that all we are going to know in this lesson, okay? Penugolu, a village on the hills. So we can say that hills village, okay, or else village on the hills, okay. So here before this you have to did you have to say that did you visit any hills? Do you go at any time to the hills? What kind of the things do you find there? I think mostly what kind of the things do you find on the hills? Long and long trees and some of the big rocks, yes or no? And it was totally in the high altitude, and some places it's like a slopey regions. Yes, okay. So in that kind of the places, if the people were lived, so you can assume once how the people were living over in that areas, okay, right. So before this you have to know what is Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats, okay. Here you see, okay, so this is our India map, so which is there on the east side, okay. So east side, here all the mountains were there, mountains were there here in this all regions, okay. So these all mountains continuously were live here, and some middle gaps, and continuously some many mountains were there, and again gap, and continuously some mountains ranges were there, okay. So these all we called as east side were located these all mountain ranges, no? So that's why it's all called Eastern Ghats, okay. So same like that, west side, okay, west side, west side of our India, okay, west side of our India, here also there are some many mountains where continuously were there, okay, continuously there. And see, eastern mountains were not continuously, but the western mountains ranges were there continuously in the west direction of India, okay. So these all called Western Ghats, okay. So here Ghats means, don't you think that a different word? Ghats means nothing but continuously of the hill regions, okay, continuously of the hill ranges. So these called Western Ghats, which is lies on the west of the India, and Eastern Ghats, okay. So now you all understood about the Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats, right? So here the Eastern Ghats, Telangana plateau, mostly the part in the Deccan plateau, okay. So Eastern Ghats on one corner. So these Eastern Ghats, eastern borders of the Jaishankar district. But the hill ranges in the Telangana are the part of the Western Ghats. Okay. So Telangana, why does it called as a plateau region? Okay. It's in a Deccan plateau. Deccan means nothing but south. Okay. South plateaus. So actually this it is marked in the Eastern Ghats, but so the so whatever the hill ranges were there, no, it is in the part of the Western Ghats, okay. And see that mostly these all the hill stations of the Telanganas spread to another states like Chhattisgarh and to the Andhra Pradesh and to the Odisha. These all are the border states, right? Yes. So these hills of the Telanganas spread to another states like Chhattisgarh and AP and to the Odisha. Okay. Yes, this is about the Telangana's hills. Okay. So now, who will live in this hill stations or else hilly regions places? Mostly, yes. Who lives in the hill stations? Mostly the tribal communities people living in the hilly regions. Okay, so these tribal communities like Savara, Kondadora, and Gadaba, Gonda, and Mannedoras, Mukhadora, and Koya. So these all are the tribal communities names. Okay, so they have their own unique culture heritage. Unique means something different from others. Okay, yes. So these all people have unique culture heritage. Okay, so that means that their life and their eating habits, of course, their dressing and their celebrations and their believing God, everything was different. Okay, yes. So what kind of the work they do? Mostly they depend on the collection of forest produce, collection of forest produce, and they do hunt the animals. So whatever they hunt the animals, they sold out into the nearby the markets, and so whatever they earn from that, they leave, and they collect some of the fruits and honey or else some medicinal plants. So that also they'll sold in nearby the villages, and so that only they're earning. Okay, yes. So mainly the forest only they depend on the forest products. Okay, they do hunt the animals and they depend on the forest products. Okay, and some people of hill stations they do the some kind of the agriculture also. Okay, so that time that kind of the agriculture is called as zoom cultivation. Okay, or podu culture or podu cultivation also we might be can say. So that is also one more other occupation of them. Okay, but now many areas the forest are forest they are clearing off, and they do some of the building constructions and all, or else they are establishing some industries were there, no. So that is somewhat disruption of their life, and that was a threatening to their way of life also. Okay, so now let us know about the Penugolu village. Okay, so this is the location of the Penugolu village. Okay, so this is there in the which district? Jayashankar district. Penugolu village located in the Jayashankar district. So in Vajid Mandal. Okay, Penugolu village located in the Jayashankar district and in the Vajid Mandal. And there is one of the river flow is also there near in this Penugolu village, that is Godavari river. Okay, so Godavari river we called as South Ganga also, no, and the major flow in the Deccan area also Godavari river, right? So Penugolu village has a one river flow also there from that village. That is which river? Godavari river. Okay, so in this Penugolu village, um, the Koyas, okay, Koya community people used to live. So we have discussed about the many kinds of the tribal communities, no. So in this Penugolu village, Koya type of community people lives in this Penugolu village. So and so here they have given the meaning of the Koya also. Koya means good person living on the hills. A good person living on the hills. Okay. So they speak Koya language only. Okay, they speak Koya language, and so wherever they are leaving hills, no, so it's up to these hills up to adjoining of the some surrounding states like Odisha, Chhattisgarh, and AP. So that means if they cross that hills, they can reach the other state also. That means, okay. And so usually many Koyas have migrated away from the hills and now live in the Adilabad and Karimnagar, Warangal, some part of East Godavari. Okay, and actually they do not anymore speak of Koya language, but they adapted the Telugu. So, but now some many of the Koyas people were migrated from this Penugolu village, and they have migrated to some nearby the towns and villages areas in the Adilabad district, in the Karimnagar district and all. Before that, they have only um, Koya's language, no? But slowly they adapted the Telugu also, because when they are migrated to these all village areas, they have to know that language, no? So slowly they adapted Telugu language also. Okay, so these village, Penugolu village, surrounded by hills, like they have given the names of the hills also here, like Nallagutta, that is called as Karregutta also, and Chhattisgarh in the north, Vankamamadi Gutta, okay, and in the south, Kallukuntala Gutta in the east, and Chinna Kummari Lanka and Pedda Kummari Lanka in the west. So that means, so all directions, whatever the hills were there, no, so that all the names are this. Okay, so this Vajit Mandal actually situated at the stream Nallandevi Vagu, okay, so that flows from the north and the joins in the Godavari. Okay, so some of the small stream from this Vajit Mandal, it flows, so that is Nallandevi Vagu stream, and it join in the Godavari river. So actually, so whoever written about this all information, no, so they went to this Penugolu village, and how they went and how they did the journey and all they have given here. So they have went first to the reach to the Gommadidoddi village, and it was located at the foots of that hills. Foots of that hills means, see, for example, if you assume this is all the hills, so foots of the hills means hereby. Okay, hereby we can call like foots of the hills. Okay, and so they are explaining about their path when they reach it, right? So um, from that areas, so they went to the inside of the hills. So that path, they are telling that it is very steep and narrow and slippery. Okay, narrow means very less area of the road. Okay, less area of the road, and very, it's steep and slippery also. That means we may can slip if we walk, if we will not walk properly. And there they saw the very famous Bogota waterfalls near the Chikupalli on the way. When they are reaching to the Penugolu, they saw that Bogota waterfalls. So you can have a picture here, Bogota waterfalls, right? Yes. So they, while they are going to the Penugolu village nearby in the Chintapalli, they saw this beautiful Bogota waterfalls. So this is one of the famous waterfalls in the Telangana. Okay. Yes. So then, as we climbed the hills, they saw that a thick forest and some of the big patches of clear land. That means some areas were cleared land for their doing the agriculture, right? And totally they found that red soils on that Penugolu village, and the slopes, of course not so fertile, that slopes, and they saw that plenty of the stones and pebbles. Okay, so it's there in the from Vajit Mandal, this Penugolu village, how much it is there, 20 kilometers away from this Vajit Mandal. Okay, Penugolu village 20 kilometers far away from the Vajit Mandal. Yes. So next is about a Podu. Okay, Podu. So these Koyas grow crops. That means they do the farming in the form of different technique, right? So that is called a distinct technique. That is called Podu, right? So these Podu agriculture only we may can call as shifting agriculture or Zoom cultivation also we make an call. Okay, shifting agriculture or Zoom cultivation also we make an call. Okay, so what kind of this Podu technique then? Of course, this is a traditional practice of their families in the hilly regions mostly. Okay, so it is also practiced by the tribes like Konda Reddy tribes also. They do the practice of this um, shifting agriculture or Podu agriculture. Okay, so many of the people who lives nearby in the hilly regions of Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Arunachal Pradesh, they do these kind of the Podu agriculture. Okay, so I'll tell you what is a Podu agriculture means. So actually, while they are living in the hilly stations, they do not have any specific areas to do the agriculture, right? So that's why what they do is, in the forest area only they select some area. Okay, they select some areas, and in that area, they cut the all the trees, and they'll clear off this land. Okay, they'll clear off this land, and at the time of rainy season they sow the seeds. See, you can have a picture here while they're sowing the seeds, right? So this is a photograph from the 1940. They used some of the digging stick. Okay, and they're leaving the one seed, and again with the stick they are pressing that seed. Okay, that is called dibbling seeds by the digging stick. Okay, so like that. So before the rainy season times, so in this area only they do dibbling of the seeds. Okay, and so due to that rainfall it's grow up, and again with the help of their family members and all, they do harvest this, and so they'll get the crop. So like this, wherever they clear the patches of the forest areas, they do the agriculture there only, like nearly 2 to 3 years. Then again they leave this area to grow up the forest again here. Okay, and again they'll choose to another place, they'll choose another place. Okay, so again this area will be grow like a forest, and they choose and again another place to do the agriculture. So these kind of agriculture called as Podu agriculture. Okay, Podu agriculture. Also we may can call shifting agriculture and Zoom cultivation also. Who do this kind of agriculture? Mostly whoever lived in the hilly regions. Okay, so mostly what kind of the crops they do cultivate? Mostly they do cultivate jova. Okay, and maize and tubers, millets, and sesame, and red grams, green grams, vegetables like brinjal, chilies, and gongura, some etc. Some of other vegetables they do the sometimes mixed crops also. Okay, so like this they do the agriculture, right? So and we may can see some of here in this picture you can see some of the backyard of their houses, vegetable garden. Okay, they do fences of their house, right? So they do fencing with the bamboo strips and all, and even their house is also built with the bamboo strips and using some mud or else some with the red soils. Okay, and in the backyard of their houses they do cultivate of some vegetables. Okay, so that is we call as kitchen garden, or else we can call as like a vegetable garden. Okay, so mostly they do some kind of some beans, gourd, chilies, or else some climbers like pumpkin also. In some houses they do the poultry also within their inside of their fences, and some of them they rear the goats, sheep, and cattle and dogs also, which it will helpful for them, right? So some cattle they do while they're doing agriculture, it will helpful for them, no? So they do in that backyard of their garden. So they leave the area of their backyard of their backyard of their house, even for poultry, even for other animals, to rear animals, and they do for the kitchen garden also. Okay, so here, forest products. So mostly, as I told you before, their livelihood is only the collection of the forest produce and hunting. Okay, it's a vital role of the livelihood of the hilly region people. Okay, so mostly they'll collect edible food items and medicinal plants. Okay, and as well as some seasonal fruits. Okay, seasonal variations and some like tubers and nuts and green leaves. Okay, and so whatever they hunt or else whatever they collected, so while that only they lead their life. Okay, so tribal women and children also sometimes engaging in their collection of the edible items in the forest regions, and they collect honey also from the trees. Okay, and they collect some of the tender bamboo shoots like kari kommulu. So from the bamboo bushes they collect, and with that they do the they'll construct of their house, and sometimes they sell out to the paper mills also. Here they have given clearly also. Okay, so bamboo shoots whatever they collected, see that. So they whatever they collected, so some of the members with that only they'll make. So from their collected bamboo strips, they fence they used for fences of their house, and also they weave baskets and windows and chicken coops for hens and all in the poultries, and also they'll sell out to the some paper mills also. Okay, to make the paper. So for that, usually these paper mills owners they'll give us some contract wise if they collect day wise, um, or else so 150 rupees per day they earn while they are collecting of that and by selling of that bamboo strips. Okay, so even for drinking water also they had suffering a lot. So they have to carry the water from the spring. Okay, so so here they have shared a figure how they are carrying that, and they use that water only from the mostly the collected water from the springs like Shebari or Godavari river streams also. From that streams also they collect. So with that water only they use very carefully. So sometimes these, so in the summer season, these streams also become dry. Okay, so the people used to be suffer in the summer seasons, and here customs. That means whatever they are facing the, whatever they are believing, right, about that. Tribal people in the Penugolu worship god of nature. That means forest only they believes as their god, and festivals also they follow on the changing of the seasons. Okay, so mostly they worship the stone idol. Stone idol they worship, and they also worship the Buddha. That means a round shaped dried bottle gourd. Bottle gourd, you know. So that is a dried and round shaped one. That Buddha also they worship as their god, and stone idol also they worship the god, and Tadu under the neem tree. See here, see Tadu under the neem tree. So this is also the place of the worship of the hilly regions, hilly region people. Okay, so and under the tamarind tree. Okay, so they called it that is the Mutyalamma, and they celebrate this Ellama Padamu or else like Bhumi Puja and Kartala Panduga, that means Pettala Panduga, and Bimini Panduga, and festival of Vippa Puvu. Okay, so like this all they do kind of the celebrations. Okay, so the future of the koyas. So that means, so most of the people um, see this here. So by deforestation of the forest regions, so they lost their place to be live and to be collection of the produce and all. Okay, so slowly these people also are migrated to the nearby villages, and searching or finding about the works like a government shown works or else any other kind of the works. And but they felt very unhappy because when they lived in the forest areas, so they felt that it was their own house and it's their own place, and only by the collection of that they lead their life very happily, right? So but due to the deforestation they lost their life in the forest regions. Okay, so and here tribal people possess very intimate knowledge of the fruits and forest environment. Yes, because from the many years onwards they usually lives in the forest regions, and their families and their grandparents and all, so then very knowledgeable about the fruits available, what kind of the fruits are available, and what kind of the forest, and what kind of the environment of the forest, right? So here that fact that needs of the people are few, and richness of the forest is which life is immense. It would appear to be the great harmony with the nature. Okay, schools and other such facilities available in the villages are limited, and there is just one school, that is also only the Girijana Primary School. So in the Penugolu village only one school is there, so that is called Girijana Primary School, and nearest to the high school as well as the hospital are at Wajid. So that means they have to come to the Wajid only for the high school or else to the hospital. So Wajid, it's a mandal from the Penugolu village. It's there the 20 kilometers far. So what is the facilities are there? Only small primary school is there in the this village. So that is called Girijana Primary School. Here they have shared the pathway to the leading to the Penugolu village. See, this is only the pathway, very narrow road. Okay. So this is about the Penugolu village.